Hey guys, I'm coming to you with my friend and I's build of a Vylon deck, and we're just going to be giving you a profile of it today, and I'll get right into it. To start with the monsters off, 2 Vylon Hept, because it has an 1800 attack, and it's able to special summon equipped Vylon monsters from the spell and trap card zone. Next, 3 Vylon Prism. This is probably the Vylon Synchro that you will use the most in this deck. Tuner, my bad.
Sorry.
I always say that for some reason.
Yeah, it happens.
So, this is the one you'll probably use the most because it's level 4, and you're able to equip it to a monster. Is it a monster or just synchro
When it's sent from the field card zone, when it's sent from the monster card zone to the graveyard, you can equip it to a monster on the field.
Okay, so it's any monster, not just a synchro monster?
Yeah, not just a synchro monster.
Alright, and then that monster, when it attacks, gains 1000 attack, which is really good because you can get over some really problematic monsters. Next, continuing with the tuners, 2 Vylon Cube, because when you synchro with this, when you synchro summon a light synchro monster, you can add a equipped spell card from your deck to your hand. Now for the 1 of tuners to close it off, 1 Stella, 1 Terra, and 1 Sphere. 1 Stella because when it's equipped to a monster, after that monster battles with your opponent's monster, that monster is destroyed automatically. 1 Terra because it prevents a monster from being destroyed, and 1 Sphere because you can unequip it, get an equipped spell card from your grave, and equip it back to that monster. That's it for the Vylon monsters in this deck. It's mainly on tuners except for the 2 Heps. Next, 2 Cyber Dragon. I actually like this picture better. 2 Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, the other Cyber Dragon kind of looks like a mesh.
Yeah, this one looks badass.
Yeah.
2 Cyber Dragons to help speed up synchroing by special summoning. Then 2 Goblinbergs, mostly the same reason. When it's normal summon, change to defense, you special summon a level 4 or lower. I chose to run this over 10 Goldfish because level 4 or lower instead of just level 4. And because it's also a warrior, which works with Rhoda. Next, 1 Photon Thrasher. You can take out a Goblinberg and put in another Photon Thrasher, but I chose to put in the other Goblinberg because you can special summon Photon Thrasher, normal summon Goblinberg, Goblinberg's effect, change to defense, and you get another level 4 or lower and can go into, for example, Leo. Continuing on, 1 Trident Warrior because it special summons a level 3 Cube or Stella.
And it's also an 1800 beater, which don't forget about
exact.
that. That's why we run 1 of him instead of 3 Goblinbergs.
Yeah, definitely. Then 2 Summoner Monk because it's just amazing. It helps you ditch equip spells for when you want to use Sphere, because then you can just go Sphere and get the equip spell. Then of course you can always just equip it from your hand.
Yeah.
Then of course, well not of course, but my friend and I, Grant, chose to run 1 of each because it allows you to special summon them by banishing a light and banishing a dark. So it helps speed up the synchros and close off since most of the monsters are light honest.
Now, if you do happen to get your hands on this, you could probably run 2 of these. And then take out whatever you like. But if you do get, I would really suggest 2. It has really nice synergy with the deck.
It does. Now, that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. To start off, 2 Element. This card, I feel, is at least needed at 2, because it helps with consistency. Because if you run only 1, you don't see it enough. If you run 3, you might see it too much, which isn't always good. Plus, it's 2 is just right, in my opinion.
You can say what it does.
No. And what this does is when a Vylon equipped spell or monster goes to the grave, just any equipped Vylon card. Yeah, any equipped Vylon card, when it goes to the grave, you can special summon a tuner. So, say Prism's equipped to Espelon. and you use Espelon's effect. Prism goes to the grave, element goes off, and you get a tuner. Next, for the Vylon equip spell cards, 2 material because it increases a monster's attack by 600. 1 filament because your opponent can't activate spell or traps until the end of the damage step. This is really good, I feel, and should be run more now that Mirror Force and Dimensional Prison are coming back to 3.
Right, Konami.
But, yeah, exactly. What have they been smoking?
Yeah, I know. Konami.
But I only chose to run 1. I would side the other 2 if I feel that my opponent's running a lot of back row or see that they're running in back row. Now, next, 2 segments, because when it's equipped to a Vylon monster, it can't be targeted by monster effects or trap cards. The only drawback to this is that it can be still targeted by spells like Smashing Ground.
Smashing Ground, yeah. I don't acknowledge that card's existence.
And then, for another Vylon equip spell card, 1 component, for when your opponent wants to play a little bit more defensive than usual, attach it, can go in for piercing. And all the Vylon equipped spell cards, when they're sent to the grave, or destroyed and sent to the grave, but face up, you can add another Vylon spell card to your hand. The last equipped spell card that my friend and I chose to run in this deck is Rod of Silence.
Chaos.
Because...
Yeah, I don't think
I couldn't pronounce it, so... And the reason we chose this is because there's an awesome loop if you have Element... Where it is? If you have Element, Rod of Silence, and any other spell card, like, say, Component. So what you do is, say you have... Where is it? Say you have Prism. And you activate Element, equip this to Prism, then activate Vylon Component targeting Prism, but since Rod of Silence doesn't allow it, this goes to the grave and you get another tuner. So, actually, say you have Hept.
Well,
sorry.
They can probably get it. If you have Hept, then you can bring out then you bring out Prism, and then the equipped spell cards affect. Then you add another one. Then you target Hept again. Then you summon Tetra, and then you add another one. Okay.
So, what he said, if you couldn't understand, because he was speaking really fast.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you normal summon Hept, activate Element, equip, then activate this. This goes to grave. Component goes to grave since it can't target because of Rod of Silence. Vylon Element goes off. You get a tuner. And then, since Component was sent to the grave, you get another Vylon spell to your hand. And you can activate it again on Hept. Goes to grave. Then you get Terra. And right now, you can go for Omega.
Yeah, you're gonna see him later. If you listen, you're gonna realize that.
Now,
that's the card you would go for.
Continuing with the deck profile. 2 Soul Charge, because just an amazing card. It helps speed up when you want to Synchro Summon a lot. Just spam the board with those Synchro monsters, or Xyz monsters. You can't attack the turn you activate them. You lose 1,000 for every monster you bring back. I run it at 2 because I want to see it, but I don't run it at... I want to see it more than if I ran it at 1. I don't run it at 3 because...
Of the cost, the life points.
The life points is too much, exactly.
And, he didn't mention this. I don't think I would either. I probably forget about it. You lose 500 life points each time a Vylon monster, if you want to equip it from the graveyard to another monster on the field, you lose 500 life points. So with Soul Charge, remember to keep that into consideration.
Yeah, definitely. Next, for back row, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. We chose not to run 3 because there's a lot of OTK decks out there these days. So we chose to side the 3rd. And an example of a deck that has OTK possibility, but won't always OTK, is Lightsworns, which Grant absolutely hates with an envy.
Well, that's why making Karakuri is just a little bit too fast for Lightsworn. That's what I like about the deck, but...
Next,
Dark Old
1 Rhoda, because you run 4 warriors.
Photon Thrasher is a warrior. Trident Warrior is a warrior. And the 2 Goblinbergs are warriors. So that's why you run a Rhoda. I wouldn't run... You could run 2, but it takes...
It's a 2, but it just takes up a spot. Since
if you're gonna... You could run a 41 card deck and then be ready to side that out, which I've seen some people do. I don't know if the guy that just won the Nationals ran... I think he only ran 40 cards. Onto the... No, yeah, he ran 40 cards. Sorry. Okay, on to the next card.
To finish off spells, one Mind Control, because I always like sacking my opponent by playing Mind Control, taking his only monster, and then using it as a synchro material. Now, for the traps, one Torrential, because a lot of decks special summon and summon a lot of monsters these days. And then 3 Mirror Force.
Konami.
Now that Konami has been smoking a lot of crack, brought it back to 3.
I mean, no one runs this in the meta pretty much, but
It's a great card because it just sacks your opponent's field if they're all in attack.
Judgment Dragon though.
Yeah.
A Judgment. You're gonna see a lot more Judgment Dragon than you're not gonna see anyone.
And then of course we got the one secret, the one super, and the one common.
Yeah.
Just what was laying around. And that's it for the main deck. It's a 40 card main deck. On to the extra deck to start off. One Omega, which we mentioned earlier. I wouldn't run it at 2 because you wouldn't really see it enough. You wouldn't really pull it out soon enough or often enough to run it at 2, so only 1.
Now let's get into Omega's effect. Yeah, bring him back. You forgot. You didn't hear his effect earlier, and here's why. When you synchro summon, you can destroy all normal summon or set. All normal summon and set cards. Once per turn, you can equip one Vylon monster from your graveyard to him, and then during either player's turn, not once per turn, you can detach and you can send an equipped card equipped to him to the graveyard to negate the effect and destroy. Wait, is it destroy the monster? Do you know?
I think it is. Hold on.
Yeah. Destroy the monster.
Yeah, destroy that monster.
It is like, just Effect
like
Veiler.
on steroids. Effect Veiler on
and
steroids.
he does it a bunch of times, and he has 3,200 attack, and Smash and Ground hurts him.
Same attack as Star Eater. Gets over Leo.
Oh yeah, usually you're gonna prism on him.
Next, one Alpha. It's only got 2,200 attack, but when this card is synchro summoned, you can target one equipped spell card in the graveyard, equipped to this card. So if materials in the grave equipped to this, gets up to 28. And can't be destroyed by spell or trap effects. So if your opponent plays Mirror Force, he's still alive and they take 28. If they have no monster. Next, 2 Espelon. It's pretty much like Scrap Dragon, only in Vylon form, and it can't destroy any card. It can only destroy equipped cards equipped to it. So normally you will use Prism to summon him, to summon Espelon. So you'll have Prism equipped to it, so it'll be at 38 instead of just 28, which is great to get over those problematic monsters like Leo or Star Eater. Next, 1 Sigma, because when this card attacks, and it's the only card attacking, you can equip an equipped spell card directly from your deck to him. And what I like to do is, say I summon Trident Warrior, I have Vylon Cube in my hand, Trident Warrior effect, I get Vylon Cube special summoned, pull out Sigma, Vylon Cube's effect goes off, I get a Vylon equipped spell card to my hand, then I equip it to him, probably material, he attacks, only monster attacking, equip another material, the second one, and then he's at 3,000. It's just awesome, and OP is crazy.
Make sure we don't have a Black Rose, which you're going to see. You're not going to see Black Rose, is what I mean. Don't take out an Espelon, take out Sigma. Yeah. I
You
guess...
could take out Librarian.
I'd rather take out Power Tool Dragon instead, but on with the deck profile.
1 Delta for when you need to sit, because it's got that fat ass of 2,800 defense. And at the end phase, when this card is in defense, you add an equipped spell card to your hand. That's it for the Vylon synchros. Onto the generic. 1 Leo, 3,100, pretty big beater, and can't be targeted until main phase 2. 1 Stardust Dragon, obviously. 1 Power Tool, because it gets a equipped spell card out of your deck. And then 1 Librarian, because when you pull him out and then continue synchroing, you draw each card. You draw a card for every single. For the Xyzes, 1 Vylon to Sigma. It's the only Vylon Xyz monster out there. Takes 3 level 4s, detach an Xyz material from it, equip it to this card, and then when it battles every monster with that same attribute as the equipped monster, they're destroyed automatically. So it's pretty much the Xyz form of Catastrophe. Then my home dog, Star Liege Paladynamo. Amazing card. 2 level 4 light monsters, attach both Xyz materials, and target one monster. Its effect is negated permanently, and its attack goes to 0. So when you pull him out, attack that 0 attack monster. It's pretty much 2,000 direct. 1 Utopia to negate it, to stop attacks. 1 Diamond Dire, destroy cards. You would have to destroy Diamond Dire, though, since we don't run any beasts or beast warriors or winged beasts for his effect to go off any otherwise.
For his effect.
Yeah, and then to close it off, 1 number 50 Black Ship of Corn, because my friend Grant was the only one that I know who would allow us to put Silent Honor Arc in this deck profile, but he of course traded it as soon as he pulled it.
Wait, I pulled it from Legacy of the Valiant right at the start. I didn't subscribe to Asian Ice Dragon, didn't see the video. Don't you can comment on how dumb I am. I realize that now.
Yeah.
I got ripped off. You know, I didn't think people would do that, but apparently at tournaments, people are bad people. I got like 6.
You got like 6 cards out of it.
Yeah, I got like 6 cards that would be in an extra deck, but I didn't realize that they would all be not nearly as good as Silent Honor Arm.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys like it.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you see any wrong rulings, which I don't think there are, please tell us. See ya.